having a 1-0 lead. Well, he was deadly on this last week. He's just teasing it.
Game shot on the first leg. Sean Henderson.
Excellent from Hendo. Takes the first leg, 15 darts, that'll do. Puts Ray Campbell under pressure from the off, but yeah, John's been playing well all season. He's got his chin up a bit. I saw him at breakfast this morning with a very obvious Celtic shirt on. He's probably one of the biggest Celtic fans I've ever seen.
He does,
81.
he does like the full kit, doesn't he, on these Euros for Scott Henderson? But
He had his shorts on this morning as well.
Yeah, it's the full. I mean, he's not got shin pads and boots, but he's not far off.
96.
Give me an idea for a birthday present for John. He hasn't got any shin pads. Well, I'll have to get the official Celtic ones though.
Well,
Otherwise he'll probably return them for some sort of gift receipt.
well, look, Hendo is one of the friendliest, nicest men you could ever meet in the world of darts. But even if you did fall out with him, you're not going to kick him in the shins or do anything to him. Like the mounds him from Game of Thrones.
Do you know where Rayman's from?
It's a computer game, is it not?
You're from that generation, Dan.
That's, well, no, I had this explained to me because I remember commentating on him at the UK Open qualifiers. One of the very few tournaments, well, one of the 5 tournaments now that Ray Campbell has actually picked up some money and only picked up 250 quid, so it wasn't enough
39.
to make it to the UK Open finals itself. But yeah, I wasn't sure who that character was. I was more of a Street Fighter 2 Streets of Rage kind of generation. Rayman came a little bit later, although looking at Ray Campbell,
140.
I'm not sure how much Rayman is placed
170.
himself. He might be an absolute demon, he might be an e-sports legend, for all I know. Not sure.
With an alter ego.
Well, he could be, yeah.
94. Ray, you require 100.
Well, Rayman is a buoyant computer game character. He'd be very buoyant if he hits this. It's not going to happen though. But he will lead tops if he hits a single 20.
100.
Good layup.
John, you require 76.
Precious is 76. Now remember, John, he loves these shots because he gets one clean shot at tops. Here we go.
36.
Get it.
Ray, you require 4.
Well, this is for a break back for the Northern Irishman.
That looks awkward.
Got to be the left-hand side of the bed.
Game shot.
Oh,
Second
back
leg.
down the middle, just to the left of those first 2 darts. Can't fault that. That's a good effort from Ray Campbell. Gets his first leg in European Tour darts.
I'll tell you what, when you look at the way that Ray Campbell's darts land, it looks very straight from this camera angle. But if we were looking direct at the board, you'd see that it's kicking to the left a bit. So when we take those 2 misses at tops into consideration, he could see very little of that bed, and the shift to the left and hitting it from there was a great shot.
140.
There you go.
Yeah.
Flight kicks to the left, and that proves how much of the bed he didn't see on that shot at tops.
137.
You've got to think a shot like that is going to give you confidence.
What's causing that then? Come on, you're our analyst, Paul. What's causing that dart to kick over to the left-hand side of that?
Well, look at the way his dart is gripped. He
137.
grips them very much at the end, which means there's less steadiness through the middle of the barrel, so it's going to flail a bit.
Got a fishtailing.
Absolutely. If he was holding it more in the middle, it would
50.
still go flat, but it would be a lot straighter. But I think what Ray has done is he's centered everything around his grip. He's happy with what he's doing with that. And the fishtailing that you mentioned just there,
140.
he's tailoring his game towards that. Absolutely fine.
Right, some leg of darts this. Hendo on a potential 11 darts. Campbell was on a 12 darts, but isn't going to take out the 164.
81. John, you require 84.
Last dart. Double 12 for Hendo. 11 darts and a really authoritative 11 darts. Henderson taking out the 84, banging all of those bets.
It's one of those Instagram-worthy double 12s, isn't it? Just right in the middle, not even scaring the wires. There was so much in the middle, it was almost Switzerland.
140.
As a pro dart player, when you have a leg like that where you've just hit everything solid, you know, tough 40, leave 84 on it, and you go middle of the bed, middle of the double.
34.
Do you get a lift from that?
You do, because you've hit everything you're going for, you've broken the as John just did there. And
140.
you just say to yourself, well, what did I do that was right there? Sometimes you're so in the moment doing that you forget what you've been doing that's so good. And if you can remember the one thing, the one little
100.
key or anchor, as sports psychologists say, then that's going to make you even more dangerous, because if you can remember and it works for the rest of the game, you're going to do what James Richardson did. You're going to continue to score heavily and you're going to hit your doubles.
Right, Henderson's kicked off 140 in this leg. Only a 60 there, but he is down to a finish, and Campbell's 200 points behind, although this is putting a big old dent in that lead.
140.
I mentioned the rocking motion of John Henderson many times, but his throw is all about timing. Timing the rock, timing that little twist of the dart at the very end, because he spirals it out of the fingers, and that's why it gets such a corkscrew in the air. It's one of the reasons why it's such a big score, because when it corkscrews in the air, it just binds with the other darts.
108.
With his first maximum on the European Tour, and he's put himself back in with a shout of yet another break and throw in this game. Well, 15 score leaves 87. It'll be 17s now.
Okay. Did he think he'd left 77? Have I done my maths right? Yeah, you were definitely right, Dan.
54. Ray
I think he was trying to leave double 15. Yeah. But the main thing here is that Ray Campbell has a genuine shot at tops for 2-2 and another break. Double 10 and there's pressure on this.
Game shot.
Ray Campbell. 4 consecutive breaks throw in this game.
Game on.
And John Henderson is being made to work very, very hard here. I repeat, Ray Campbell, having got into the money stages of a PDC event in 3 years, 1 on the Challenge Tour, 2 on the full tour, having got into the money stages of a PDC event, he has never won another game. He's won a 250 quid at a UK Open qualifier. 3 times he's managed to win a game to get through to the second round of a Pro Tour event with 500 quid, but then he's always gone out. Here, he's won a couple of qualifiers to get to the money stages of this tournament. And he is battling hard with John Henderson and could well do something he has not done in his entire career.
But he's showing us that he does have some keys to the success that's got him here. And the 180 to leave the shot, absolutely brilliant. But what I want to bring up is his last visit. He goes high over the 60 and he perseveres with the 60. It was that height there, that 5, but it was centralised. What he needs to understand is that when you block that 60 with the way his darts land, switch immediately. Give yourself the open bed. Don't be stubborn.
Yeah, a few players who perhaps might benefit from that.
100.
One of them, the one that obviously springs to mind, is Max Hopp, who is very, very stubborn treble 20 attempter, even when he's made life hard for himself. Of course, Max not here, didn't make it to the host nation qualifiers last night. We will be seeing the first host nation qualifier in a couple of games' time, Stefan Siepman. Remember him from the European Tour earlier this year?
100.
Had a little run, didn't he? Beat an admittedly rather ill Joe Cullen. Still a scout. He'll be taking on Jermaine Watanabe, the machine gun. Back in Euro Tour action, a little spell away. Martin Schindler playing this afternoon as well, Germany's number 2. As Hendo looks at 1 for tops. Tops he wants. 60 he will come back.
Well, nobody wants to hold their throw in this match, obviously. Going to try and make it as exciting as possible, and Ray Campbell going to pressure again. This time he should steer.
83.
Got a nasty little tweak into the treble 1 there. Tops for Hendo though. The guide of all guides that.
Game shot, the 5th leg.
He didn't really use it that much, but he still sort of had the point to dart about. Let's put it in the corner. It is 3-2. Nobody can hold their throw. I recall Ray Campbell, one of the commentating on the UK Open qualifiers. I don't remember him having the touch. That's why it's sort of like Dennis Priestley tribute in the hope that it inspires him to break it. Maybe he had it in the qualifiers. Maybe that's what's changed in his game. I know you believe that somebody who changes their dart shirt immediately brings about a response. Ray Campbell, the tash might have some sort of magical powers. I mean, I know he looks like Pitbull's dad, but I mean, it's a look.
100.
Sometimes it's the smallest little things. I found out recently that Peter Wright wears odd socks all the time. Really? There's one for you. Here's a 180 maybe. 100. Campbell is second of the match.
this game, both of them to the Northern Irishman. Oh, hang on.
123.
What's John saying to himself? Why are you playing your best up on my throat? Just go away. Well, in order for him to go away, John, just keep doing what you're doing. Score heavily.
Oh. Now, I don't know what that bounced out on. It looks like there might be a mark in the treble 20. If there is, that is, yeah, it looks like there is. Hendo. Less pressure on this than there might have been.
120.
Misses outside on the double 18 for a big finish, but we know that he's going to come back and try and open up a two-leg advantage. Try to hold his throw for the first time anybody's done in the game.
84. Johnny Renoir, 30.
And it does like the doubles at the top of the board.
John Henderson.
Finally, we have a hold record first. It's only taken 6 legs.
Yeah, 14 darts are good enough for Big Hendo to hold his throw. He is currently averaging, well, in the 90s. It's solid stuff from John Henderson.
44.
I mentioned Ray Campbell came through against Steve West and Diogo Portala. Well, not one person who played a preliminary game in qualifying went through to qualifying for this tournament. Everybody who was directly involved with round 1 and round 2 then got through. That's a very strange thing. I've been looking at statistics on the European Tour for over a year now, and I've never seen that before. But Hendo, Josh Payne was his first victim, 6-4 there, and Simon Stevenson of Plymouth, 6-3.
Yeah, curious on Simon Stevenson.
83.
All the way through last year, he was making some serious inroads. It's been a tough 2017 for Simon Stevenson. We'll see if in the latter end of 2017 he can turn things around, because this is
28.
the final European tour that we've got before that break over August. We have got a Pro Tour weekend next weekend. There's also the qualifiers for the next couple of Euro tours. It's Hendo.
140.
There's a little smile from Hendo. They can't find that maximum that he's been searching for.
Well, the qualifying next Friday is for Maastricht, which is the first weekend of September, so there's a very large gap between those two, well, the qualifier and the main event. And then there's a qualifier at the start of August for the second weekend.
133.
So desperate to get his first 180, he had to stop himself mid-rock, because otherwise he would have left himself 3 if he hit it. And the likelihood is he probably would have hit it, having failed to find the 180 all the way through this game. But 10 for tops with a root. Back-to-back 14 darters for the Scotsman. He is well and truly in charge of this game now, going for a 6-2 victory over Ray Campbell.
We've already seen James Richardson go for treble 19 when he had 41 left, and Hendo halfway going for a 180 on 183, so
100.
someone's got the finishing voodoo doll out this weekend. Well, I mean, of all the players in world darts, you must find it harder to stop mid-throw than other.
Hendo's going to be right there, because you've got some serious momentum taking him towards the board for that throw.
It's a bit like Tiger Woods stopping his swing halfway down.
Exactly, yeah. Now!
121.
He's getting genuinely frustrated now, John Henderson. He's in a battle with himself right now. He feels he's got this game in the bag. He may not do.
140.
He's responded well though, because Ray Campbell brought the game the first 4 legs. He's been like a bit of a pit bull, as you mentioned. He was just biting at John's heels and taking his chances.
81.
Well, it's the lot. Yeah, certainly needs another treble to get to a finish. And he's got it.
140.
He's given himself a sniff of a chance, Ray Campbell. And it would be for a break of throw if he couldn't. Hendo. Oh, great second dart. Not a bad third one either. Top stuff from John Henderson.
61.
And the 161 won't go, so John Henderson should get 1 match dart. He may get 2. It could be a trio of 14 darters to close this game out for John Henderson, who's made to work very hard in the opening stages against Ray Campbell, who on his Euro Tour debut put up a fight early on, but hasn't been able to sustain it. Oh, and Henderson again.
Ray requires.
This is high, just high on double top.
Well, Ray, if you want to stay on stage, it's as simple as 19 and tops. Tops. To keep bouncing around like Ray, man.
29.
He may be just about to be deleted from this computer game. Hendo to go through. Double 10. And there it is. John Henderson gets the job done. After 4 consecutive holds of throw at the start of this one, Ray Campbell could not live with Big Hendo. 6-2 to the Scotsman, who averages almost 98 in the process. He is through and will face the number 6 seed Kim Hybrex. Ray Campbell, big weekend for the Northern Irishman. His first ever appearance on the Euro Tour, his biggest payday in darts. And who knows, now he's tasted Euro Tour action, maybe we'll see him again in the latter stages of the European Tour to build up to the European Championship in Hasselt. Here is the quarter-finalist of the European Championship, John Henderson. A few words with Elmar, and then he's on with the